Welcome to Botch's Off-Road. This is a wrap. It feels like it's been a long time. It was a long weekend. Gavin went and did some camping.
Yep.
I think.
A little bit.
We did some yard camping and getting smashed.
Yeah.
Gavin made some good food.
Did I? I did. I did.
Yeah, you sent some.
Oh, that was, we ended up going over to my uncle's house because he hasn't met my kid yet, and he made his barbecue and everything for us, so I didn't make it. I can't take credit for it, but my uncle, he does competitions here in Michigan, and he is working on starting up his food truck, and so, yeah, he made that stuff specially for me and the family coming up, and yeah, it was delicious. Some of the best barbecue I've ever had.
That's saying a lot from a fat guy.
Yeah.
Do I sound all right? I feel like I'm really quiet on Audacity.
Nope, you sound fine to me.
No. Sounds good to me.
Then I'll ignore it and pretend that everything's fine, even if it's not.
Last time I thought I was
Yeah,
quiet,
so
I
Gavin?
cranked it up, so I wouldn't dare mess with that.
Well, Gavin, if you want to tell us about your camping trip, you had a buddy from down south come up from.
Yeah, I had a buddy from high
you were a
school who I lived with for a while. He came up from Tennessee. He's been down there for years now after he got out of the Marines. He used to live in Michigan. Graduated, went to the Marines, and I've seen him once every couple of years. He's like a brother to me. So he announced that he was coming up to see some family, and I was like, well, that would be really cool to see you. You know, me and him have seen each other, but our families haven't met. So he's got 2 kids, one on the way, and I have mine. So it was a cool chance. So we were going to go check out a couple camp spots up by the Fife Lake area in Michigan. And I wasn't really all that hopeful that I was going to find anything. And I was right. 4th of July weekend, Fife Lake area is a hot spot for camping and stuff. So everything was pretty much taken. Obviously, state parks and stuff were a no-go because I just don't do state parks. They would have been full anyway. So he had some property where his mom just built a new house, and so we propped up on the property, and we just camped there, basically, and it was a lot of fun. We spent most of the first night just hanging out, saying hi to each other, introducing everyone. The kids played all that night, and then Saturday, they played pretty much all day until about 2, and Jasper wouldn't take a nap because he had too many kids playing around. And so we were like, well, we'll do a couple trails. Told my uncle, where we were, and he said to come on down, so we did some trails, some scouting, and we did some really cool trails, not like hard trails, but trails that quickly turned into like bushwhacking trails. Like you could see very faint areas where the tires used to go, but obviously hasn't been used in a while. Like we were jumping over some smaller fallen trees and pushing by a lot of brush to get through. Found some camp spots, but nothing crazy, big or beautiful on water or anything. But we did find some good placeholder campsites. If we're in the area and we need somewhere to go, pretty good chance that there will be no one there, and you could maybe fit a few cars in there. So we did that, headed out to the barbecue. My son got to meet my uncles, aunts, one of my grandmothers, a few people that he's never met before, and he pretty much danced the whole time. We all ate barbecue and got fat and watched him dance around. Went back to camp and hung out with my buddy for some more. Sunday morning we packed up and what else did we do? Did a few trails, but only because by the time we got out to US 131, the connecting road to get to it was over a mile long of cars just sitting. and because they were trying to get onto 131. So I ended up taking
131 was.
It was horrible.
I was gonna say 131 was backed up to like from Cedar Springs all the way north. And they had a detour around. There was a whole line coming through old 131.
Yeah, and I figured the expressway would be crazy too. So I actually ended up taking some trails to go around some of it because it was still faster than being on 131. And took me out like a few miles. It looked like it connected onto the highway. And then by the time that I actually got to the highway, it was like 50 feet from connecting with the highway. It was blocked off. So I had to go back around and connect. And yeah, eventually we got to a place where we could take a detour off, and we took all back roads back home. Took a little longer, but it was nicer. We didn't have to sit behind everybody. And but I guess I forgot to say before I left, as we were leaving Friday, my truck was acting really funny. I started to get really nervous. It only happens when I tell people I'm gonna be there or be somewhere, which is why I try not to guarantee it. But I started my truck and it was acting really funny. I had it sitting out in the sun, and I started it. It started up fine. I threw the AC on to cool down the inside because it was like 1,000 degrees in there. And we got in it, and I went to put it in reverse, and it was chugging out when I pressed the gas. So it was like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? And every time I pressed down the gas, it would start to die out on me until I let go, and it would idle back. And it did that a few times, and then I look, and my fucking thermostat, my heat's almost all the way up, or my temp wasn't in the red, but it was almost all the way up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? No codes, nothing. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on right now. So I stopped. I was only halfway out of my driveway. Stopped, turned the truck off, opened the hood, poured some water on stuff to see what was hot and what wasn't. Checked my coolant. Coolant was fine. And just kind of gave everything a look around. The radiator wasn't muddy or clogged up or nothing. So I was like, okay, what the fuck? So I drove it a little bit, turned it back on, drove it a little bit more. I was like, I'm just going to take this thing to a car wash and make sure I wash the underhood, wash the radiator on both sides, just to make sure that it's not something there clogged up. Because I don't remember the last time I washed the inside of my radiator. So
yeah,
I was like, I'll just wash that off. And from the 20 feet to the end of my driveway, my temp went way back down again. And the truck was still kind of chugging, so I stopped, turned the truck off, opened the gas cap, because I thought, well, maybe it's overpressurized or something, and it's not venting right. Didn't hear any hiss. That was kind of a disappointment, because I thought maybe that would be it. Then I turned the truck back on, and it seemed fine. So I thought maybe it was just because I had it sitting in the heat like that. It wasn't moving. I drove it to the car wash, washed the underbody really good, opened the hood, washed the engine bay out, which I don't like to do, but with all the electronics I got. And sprayed the radiator out really good, and for the rest of the weekend, it did absolutely fine and had no problems. So it felt like it went through gas pretty quick, but I figured out I'm pretty sure that's just because my truck gear hunts like a motherfucker. Because on the way back, from up north, us taking all the back roads, the gas consumption was way lower, and we were going slower. We were stopping and going more, but our gas consumption was way lower than if we were going 80 on the freeway. So, yeah, it was an interesting weekend. I'm hoping those problems don't pop back up with the FJ, because I'm not sure what the fuck that was. I think that it was just really hot, and the vapors kind of
So my Mustang, I used to park it in Phoenix when it was 120, and whenever I would start the car, it would be overheating, and then I'd have to wait for it to idle and cool down a little bit.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I thought it might have been too, but I couldn't figure out why it was chugging. And I think that was just the vapor. I think it did have a venting issue or something, because it seemed like after I went through and did all that, it seemed to fix itself. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a quarter tank left, and it seemed like it also went through gas really quick. From when it said I had a quarter tank to Grant where I fueled up, so seemed like the gas left pretty quick when we did that. So I don't know if it was still having issues chugging. Maybe it tricked my sensors and put too much fuel in. I don't know. But it seems fine now. I had no issues with it coming back through the trails.
Good.
I was jumping around on the trails that were very well done, actually, up there in the Fife area. The couple trails I did, I could do like 40 on with no issue. And they were 2-track trails, not forest trails. So
well done, and then says he could go 40. That's not well done. That's overdone.
yeah, it is. I found out that like a couple miles down the track, there was a few mailboxes. I'm like, oh, maybe they grate this every once in a while or something. But the trails themselves, though, I mean, they were actual 2-tracks, so and there was no other way ins that I saw. So I don't know. Pretty cool weekend overall. It was absolutely fucking hot Saturday, and thankfully my tent vented out okay. We were directly in sun, and it was hot in the tent, but not any hotter than a typical tent would be, I think. With the full rain fly on, it was vented out good enough, so had the fan on.
I guess it was pretty hot Saturday. I wouldn't remember. I was in the AC most of the day.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's my
'cause it
weekend.
rained for a good portion of the day.
Yes, it was supposed to
Yeah.
rain, and I was looking forward to it. Never rained up there, so that was kind of a bummer. I wanted to test out my waterproofness.
Yeah, we did some camping, some yard camping, but we did it. Usually we camp in the backyard. We camped in the front yard, so we had some trees this time. That was a terrible fucking decision. There's so many fucking earwigs that live over there for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
literally, we're putting gear away, and like, there's just earwigs everywhere, dude.
Yeah. It was insane.
Yeah, so we did some front yard camping. I think most of the swags got used, except for Cody's and Jackson's.
Yeah.
Everyone had fun. We had Jessie over. Does she have Instagram?
Yes, but I want to say it's like a private one. I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, okay. Well, if she's not trying to make it big on the interwebs, I'm not going to blast her account then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We played some Smash Cup. Okay, we played a lot of Smash Cup. We all got very fucking hammered, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never... Killin had like 2 drinks, and she was gone.
Yeah, but Jess was mixing it pretty heavy.
Okay. Alright, that's true. Yeah. And it's summertime, so it's El Chavo season again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, see, they got new artwork. You see that,
Yeah.
Gavin? Look at that fancy new artwork.
Yeah, I seen that. We Sienna actually did some drinking too. I don't drink, so I didn't do any drinking, but
Yeah, Gavin's a lame-o.
yeah. I like to enjoy my what do you call it? I like to take life raw. Take it raw like a man. Don't need any alcohol to make things fun.
Nothing's more raw than playing 10 games of Smash Cup.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, I mean I just don't.
After like game 15, you got people just sloppily dropping the ball on the table. They're not even trying anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fun for others, but that is not my cup of tea. I think I'm like, I have an old mind or something. I'm like an old grouchy man. Like, I don't like drinking. I don't like losing control of myself and being stupid. I'm stupid enough on my own, so I don't need to get drunk to make it worse. So, I don't know. I just don't enjoy it anymore. Like, I did it when I was younger. It was fun, blah, blah, blah. I just let others drink, and I love being the DD, so I just take care of everybody, be the DD. Let my wife drink, and
do it.
she got pretty sloshed. only had like 3 or 4 drinks, but that was enough for her because she doesn't drink either. So she was
Yeah, we drink like once every 3 months.
yeah she was
Maybe 4 months.
she was stumbling around and having a good time, and her and my buddy's wife got to meet each other, and they got to actually kind of be more friendly. So that was kind of nice. She actually got to like have her friend there and joke around and have fun. So they took turns peeing off the side of my truck because, when you're drunk and you're a lady, and that's just kind of where you got to go. You got to go together. So that was fun. I liked seeing her have fun. So it was a good weekend.
You like seeing her pee off your truck? Got it.
Well, they were trying not to, but, they're not the most graceful creatures when drunk, so.
I still couldn't believe we got you the first 2 rounds of Drink Bitch Cup, Alex.
Oh, dude, that was so bullshit. Like, okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what Smash Cup is, what's that shape in the middle? You got 3 rings of cups in the center, and you
Pretty
just
much make
pass
a
the cups.
hexagon.
Yeah. And you gotta try and get a ball in a cup, and if the person to the left of you gets in before you, then you get smashed. Well, if you get it in your first try, you can pass it to anyone on the table. So Mark and our buddy Caden absolutely fucked me, because Mark got it in his first try, smashed me, and then Caden was next to me, got it in on his second try, and then smashed me. So I had to drink the bitch cup. No time. I had no time to even try to get the ball in.
Yeah, I
It was
think we
fun,
did
though.
3 or 4 times to you over the course of the night.
Yeah, you guys had a good system down. Oh. But, yeah, we didn't really do anything truck related. I did find a problem with the Ford today. Okay, it's not really a problem. So I have dual steering stabilizers, but they left the factory stabilizer on. And I noticed that the steering felt different recently. And I hadn't really looked into it till today. And I found that the factory stabilizer had given up the ghost. I'm probably just going to take it off, because the truck drives fine. It just has a weird clunk up front from that stabilizer bouncing around, which doesn't even need to be there.
I didn't find anything. Is that your botch of the week? I think that's our intro to our new segment that we're going to do. We're going to do a botch of the week here. So
We got to at least tell the story of what botch of the week came from.
All right, you go ahead.
All right, so I told AI to write a 10-minute episode script that tracks, or that would fit a Botch's off-road episode, and it spit out something about Michigan monsters and something, but it starts with an intro of the Botch of the week. Absolutely ridiculous idea, and I'll put the script in the show notes. Fuck it, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and I really liked the botch of the week. I talked about it with them, and they kind of agreed with it. But it's just
I think
we
the
talk
thing
about
is,
whatever.
if we actually wheel it actually on a daily basis or a weekly basis, might be a different story. But we don't.
Yeah, well, botch of the week doesn't necessarily have to be just wheeling related, since we are kind of all encompassing off road camping, whatever. My botch of the week personally is that I forgot to put one of my rainfly on my Gazelle. Has external poles that go into the tent itself, and when I was folding it down, I bent one of those pole sections where they meet together. It doesn't hurt anything really. It just kind of bends the angle down on the rainfly in the back, but with my tent, that kind of hurt with how much it costs. But that was my botch of the week. I fucking bent my tent pole. Oh, and I put us right on. It must have been a nest of earwigs, because Saturday night we got in the tent and there were like 15, 20 earwigs inside of our tent. There was like 6 on Sienna's pillow. They were crawling around on the ceiling. They were crawling around. Like, I would rather deal with ants, spiders, anything else really except earwigs. Those things fight back, and I hate them.
So earwigs were just kind of a universal problem this week, huh?
Were they an issue for you too?
Yeah.
That was my whole story was about how we set up on an
Yeah.
earwig nest.
Yeah, no, that actually happened. I should have brought Sienna in here to talk about that because we were both freaking out. I will kill any bug, no problem. I won't kill an earwig with my hands because I've been pinched by one of those as a kid, and it like traumatized me and never let go. So I was sitting there around with my fucking multi-tool pliers, like pinching them, trying to get them off the ceiling. Then they'd fall onto our bedding, and we had to go and search for them through our bedding. Mind you, this is at 1:30 a.m. when we're going to bed. That was not fun. So I'm gonna have to be
fun fact,
a little bit more mindful.
I went to put the AI script in the show notes, and the show notes only allow for 4,000 characters, and it's like 8,000. So I'm going to put it in a doc and then link it to the show notes.
Or you could just put the first part with the botches in there, too.
I'm going to put the whole thing, because it is funny, and everyone should read it.
Sure. Yeah, that's... Wait, so... What else? I was trying to think of... I had something I was going to say before my mind went off. Oh, did you guys use fans? I used my fan. Did you guys use yours?
Hell yeah, we use our fans.
Did you end up getting the same type of fan, Mark, or did you get a different one?
No, I got a different one. I actually got it in front of me right now.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. It's like the smaller unit. How long does that usually last?
Fully charged, at least a night, maybe a half a day.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, mine's got a big-ass block on it, which makes it really cumbersome, kind of, to, like, haul around.
I could have gotten a bigger one, but the issue was it wasn't going to be shipped right away, so I ended up with, like, the medium-sized battery out of the bunch.
Right. Yeah, one of our buddies from MST, Brad, he was wondering what I had for a fan, and I was like, this is the brand name, and I went to go look it up, and that was the one that I won in a giveaway late last year, I believe. And I looked up the price of it. It's a fucking $100 for that fan. And I was like, holy shit, I'm glad I won it because I would have not have paid that out of pocket for that. I mean, now that I've used it, it's a good fan. It lasts like 2 or 3 days on a full charge, depending on the fan speed. But like, just the fact that I know that it's made almost completely out of plastic, and if I drop it once, it'll probably be fucked. I just can't. Someone needs to make a fan that's like made out of aluminum that can be dropped a few times with a big battery, and then I think we'll be good there. But not a big box fan. It's got to be the same thing.
I think it's funny that I posted a reel of my fan blowing in the bottom of my swag and just slowly oscillating, and it is up to 13,000 views and 952 interactions.
Yeah, you should go into that and tag O'Gary in there and be like, where's my sponsor? You better start dropping shit for me because it's a lot of views.
It's fucking... And it's like the stupidest 3-second video. I don't even know how long this is.
I put a video in of, I think it was just us doing a trail or something, and had Ella Langley as the music, and that got like a shit ton of views, I think, just off of the music that I used.
Well, and that's the funny thing. I didn't even use popular music. I used Sean Francis Nicolet's What Gets You Through the Night. Like, it's not even like a trending song or anything.
Yeah, it's crazy how the algorithm works, but yeah. All right. We got anything else we want to add other than happy 4th of July to everybody? America's 250th.
Hell yeah, dude. It was a great 4th of July.
It was. USA lost to Belgium in FIFA. That sucked. I think it was Belgium.
Canada and Mexico lost too.
Yep. So
none of the hosting countries made it.
No. My hopes and dreams are crushed. I knew America wouldn't win. It's like the Detroit Lions. Like, you hope that they win, but you know that they kind of won't. They always get your hopes up, but then nothing happens. So
I want Norway to win now.
Yeah. What is it? What is his name? Hollenblad or something? There's a bunch of memes about him right now. The blonde-haired guy. Well, he almost went to. There's a TikTok I saw that he went to go tear his shirt off, and then like looked at his shirt, grabbed his hand off of it, and shook his head and wagged his finger at himself, and was like, "No." And everybody was like, everybody was making comments on her, and like, commenting that Holland's thought process was like, "Oh, no, take shirt off, not now, me wait." Like, and everybody's comments were like caveman comments, like, because he's just a big hulking dude. So it was just hilarious. So yeah, I'm hoping they win too because he's funny as hell. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I didn't follow FIFA at all. I just wanted the U.S. to do better than like losing in the first couple of rounds, which they did. So, if they keep this
they
up,
made it to the 16 they did in 2004, I think it
Yeah.
was, or whatever year it was.
yeah, I mean they made it a lot farther than everybody thought they would, and that's all that I care about. Good for them. So, yeah. America had a pretty interesting 250th. Washington D.C. is under smog advisement or whatever from all the fireworks that happened there.
Yeah, 884,000 fireworks set off for a world record.
That was sick.
Okay, so that whole thing's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
because that smog advisory happened right after a major temperature change in the area, which causes the smog anyway.
Yeah.
And when you follow the trend, the fireworks didn't increase the amount of smog in the area.
No.
Based on the trend going back the last 15 weeks.
Yeah. I just think everyone's making a big deal out of it. Just put your fucking fans outside for a little bit. Blow it away. Stop being babies.
They're just
not used
being
to
babies.
It.
They're not happy that the U.S. is doing cool stuff.
Everyone in the west side of the country is like, "Oh, you don't like smoke in the air? I bet you that's nice." When they get fucking wildfires that smoke out their whole area and make the fucking air toxic over there, but they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Hell, the last 5 years we've been dealing with that out of Canada anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was pretty interesting. So,
but all right, guys, let's get on over to the hour. We got a voicemail and everything.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
So, all right, later.
Later.